This program is about unsolved mysteries. Whenever possible, the actual family members and police officials have participated in recreating the events. What you are about to see is not a news broadcast.
Yes, my run-in with the Smiley Face Killer.
Who was, it turned out to be, the weather.
Definitely not the direction that we're going. No, we're going to talk about the Smiley Face Killer and my run-in with him.
Right. All right, this isn't from where you come from. This guy had been killing a bunch of students and throwing them in the snow or something.
I've got a whole background and thing. I am not unprepared.
Okay.
All right. Turned out to be the weather.
I'm actually surprised that Pat is not more familiar. It was not. Damn it, don't. The whole bit is how much it's definitely fact that the Smiley Face Killer exists. The Smiley Face Killer. I'm surprised you're not aware of this, Pat.
I think I am. I didn't want to give it away like Dylan did. I was trying to play coy.
My God.
But when I first brought it up to you, I asked you about the Smiley Face Killer. You were a little aware of it. You were like, "Oh, I haven't really heard about it." It's because it's a rock solid theory of many unsolved murders. I really thought there'd be a Patty's murder mystery, or one day you'd come across it. But let me explain. From 1997 to 2006, just in my hometown,
Good years
of La Crosse, Wisconsin, there were 8 college men who died mysteriously in the river.
Right.
No explanation, no evidence, no follow-up. And this wasn't just in my hometown, although it was concentrated on the banks of the Mississippi where Mark Twain grew up.
Right. It's almost like all of the murders happened by a cold body of water.
Often in February, Dylan.
Was there alcohol in all their bodies?
Many times these young men who were no doubt murdered, unsolved murders, had come from the bar.
Right.
In cold weather, and they were separated from their friends.
Right.
Often, and this
perfect marks
like
for
I said,
a violent serial killer.
Like I said, we were the eye of the storm. That's not right. What do you call the epicenter of this epidemic of young men being murdered and it not being solved? But all across the country, there were about 40 different unsolved murders with many of these same circumstances. And a couple people, one being Kevin Gannon and his partner Anthony Duarte.
Are you saying their throats were slit and then they were found like kind of hanging in the water, all of these guys?
No, they were found with heavy amounts of alcohol in their system near the riverbank or in the river with not a scratch on them, many of them.
Wow.
But they were no doubt murdered by this Smiley Face Killer.
Yes.
And here's how they know.
Who seems to have almost supernatural killing abilities.
It's honestly crazy, especially when you start going into 2006, 2007 when surveillance wasn't that crazy. But this syndicate, obviously, because it actually covered cities.
Mm-hmm.
Many cities, 40 deaths, all spreading all over. But again, the epicenter, my hometown, La Crosse, Wisconsin. But like you said, no trace ever. But the one calling card he did leave that often within any place from 10 to 4 miles, there would be
sloppy footprints going down to where the person was ultimately perished.
No, somewhere in the circle, like I said, 10 yards, 4 miles, half-hour drive, there was graffiti of a smiley face.
Got it.
His calling card. Sometimes he'd drive near hours away and put the smiley face near the dead body.
Yeah.
Big fan of the Joker.
Yeah, Watchmen came out right around then.
One interesting thing, the killer, he mixed it up. He never did the same smiley face. Some had horns, some had circle eyes.
Right.
So,
it's almost like it couldn't be described as a smiley face.
No, it was the calling card of this murderer who killed these 40 young men who left the bar, blacked out, don't remember a thing, were texting people for help.
It actually is.
Lost
it's pretty crazy that the weather usually doesn't spray paint doodles, but this time it did.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the weather. It was this definite killer who's out there, actually probably a syndicate of killers. So that's the background on the murders that definitely happened.
That accounts for the inconsistency within the doodles. If it is a syndicate of violent serial killers and the directive is leave a calling card of a smiley face, you can get variability.
Wouldn't want to be on that Slack call on Monday. Fucking, you circled the ice?
Yeah.
You fucking idiot.
We're supposed to be scaring people with uniformity, people. Figure it the fuck out.
So this killer's on the loose. That's the background.
Right.
Here's my run with it.
Yeah.
2009. I'm
Good year.
I'm 21 years old. I'm up in Eau Claire visiting Sam Beinborn, one of the craziest guys I know, for his 21st birthday.
How
bash.
far away from the water are you?
It's pretty close. It's not on the Mississippi, but it's less than a mile from the
Less
Chippewa.
than a mile, okay.
Somehow, the killer syndicate probably made us plan this party up there. But obviously, Sam Beinborn's going to have a big 21st birthday bash. The kid's had a fake ID since he's like 14 and been going into bars. So it's like, oh, man, big ceremony. Him
cutting the thing in half, yeah.
Coincidentally, just had a baby with his wife days ago.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, so we're up at his house in Eau Claire for the weekend. Also, my friend Tom Duran, who has since moved to LA and become sober. Or he moved to LA to become sober and actually was my roommate for 4 years right when I moved to LA. You've been here 2 years.
It's a brilliant strategy. Come to Los Angeles to get clean.
His sister lived here.
Cool.
I had a nice job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we're at Beinborn's. We're partying all weekend. We're taking shots, just having a good time with zero consequences, before we go out.
Do you think the killer was at the party kind of watching you guys?
Again, I think he might have somehow coerced us into planning the party at Sam Beinborn's in the first place, so no doubt he was watching us as we continued to take shots. Oh, also, many times GHB has been found in the dead bodies of the system, which is known as the date rape drug, which isn't told. We haven't been able to find a little ambiguous. GHB does show up into most people's system naturally.
Right.
We haven't heard levels, but we can only assume it was a level to signify foul play because of this absolute murder.
Uh-huh.
So I'm ripping shots before we go out. We're pre-gaming hard, having a good time, reminiscing.
Anybody give you an eyedropper?
No eyedroppers, just ripping shots.
Okay.
Especially me and Tom. We kept taking breaks and taking shots that in between the shots and just reminiscing because Tom and I were good buddies in high school, didn't see each other a lot in college, catching up. So we go out to the bar.
Yeah.
I am fucked up. You guys see me having a nice time. Why don't I go overboard, huh?
Right.
So I order 8 Jaeger bombs for the fellas.
Cool.
But when they get there, I pour them all into one cup and I chug them myself.
Right.
And I've discussed the combination of caffeine and blacking out. You should be going to bed, passing out. But instead,
what a horrifying picture you're painting.
Instead, the caffeine you can't remember anything, but somehow your body is physically functioning.
All hide.
So
I'm
just sitting. It's a shotgun bar. I have a stool in the middle of the bar. This is all what I'm told. Don't remember holding court in my mind, but I'm like falling over, I'm sure, and whatever. Sure. 21 years old, great time.
Most people are looking and smiling and or laughing, but one person's really saddened by it, and just a single tear falls down her eye. And so then I'm sure I was coerced by the killer, probably a proxy he had inside, some girl, I'm assuming. Again, I am blacked out completely. Sure.
This is all the theories. I've done the research.
Right.
Girl coerces me out of the bar. I don't remember anything.
Did she have a security badge?
She must have. Mm-hmm. She must have. And she was like, I'm
Great question.
I'm off duty. I know someplace we could go or something. I don't remember anything.
Got it.
There's no memories.
She was into you.
There's no memories for me when I left the bar at about 12:30 from when the police find me in a snowbank at 4 a.m. just off the Chippewa riverbank.
Right.
My blood alcohol level was 0.397.
Okay.
I woke up at 7 in the morning with my grandma and sister staring over me with the catheter and me telling me what had happened the night before.
Right.
And that right there, I had a run-in with it. And
you were inches from dying, Nick.
I can only assume I fought him or them off,
right?
And heroically survived, scaring them off enough to let me wander, hide, pass out.
You've committed to the fact that it was multiple assailants.
I think it must have been, but I somehow get away, hide in a snowbank.
Right.
Genius. Oh, by the way, my body was hypothermic. I had literally they said something unreal that I should have been dead, like a 43-degree body temperature, just insanity. But yeah, so I fought him off. Passed out in the snowbank. I'm found by police, and the Smiley Killer lives
To this day.
to this day.
Yeah.
I could have been 46.
He probably heard the police sirens too, Nick. You know, and that's why he ran off.
Well,
You only have to fight valiantly for a short amount of time for the police to arrive. Yeah.
They heard the police sirens.
I would have loved to see my strategy when I'm beating them up.
Yeah, but it's so funny and also very sad that the Smiley Face Killer is still out there because despite the planet warming up, I mean, it is in February in that part of the country. It is still freezing cold.
There was a period of time towards 2006 when probably that 8th body was found floating in the river after the vicious murder that had no signs of foul play. That people were going downtown wearing like water floaties and stuff. Very insensitive stuff.
Yeah.
You know, isn't it? Do we think it's odd though that simultaneously, when the Smiley Face Killer went dormant, happened exactly at the same time that there was a motion for that particular area to limit their over-serving.
Honestly, I mean,
did the Smiley Killer strike a lot in the summer months?
No, it didn't. And Pat, I would like to say that actually speaks to the savviness of the Smiley Face Killer.
Right. Because
once that was passed, they most likely took it down a notch to lay low.
Yeah.
That would be obvious if they continued to kill.
Responsible killers because they knew that they needed time off. So in August, the numbers drop because they are, as a team, taking a little vacation.
One of the specific stipulations from the over-serving rules that were laid down during that time, no more $5 all-you-can-drink wristband nights, which was a crying fucking shame.